So if I'm looking for journal articles, I can use something as simple as Copilot. So you can see in my example here, I've given it a task. So I've asked it to find me some primary sources of peer-reviewed literature, given it a topic. It gets started pretty quickly. I ask for more articles because it hasn't given me very many. It responds with some more. Then I get a bit more specific and say, actually, I want 20 articles. And then it keeps finding articles for me. And then it prompts me to say, hey, do you want me to keep finding articles? It's going to take me a bit of extra time, but while I'm doing that, do you also want me to compile a downloadable reference list? And I can say, yes, please. And it will do that for me as well. So it will keep searching for articles. And then my job would be to go through each of the links and make sure that they're fit for purpose and appropriate for what I want. So I can use Copilot, or I can use Gemini or ChatGPT or whatever to search for articles that way. But there are better tools to help you find academic journal articles. So for example, you've got SciSpace, which is free to use. I just log in to this one with my personal email address. You can do a standard or a high quality or a deep review search in SciSpace, again, for free. The only limit is the number of accesses you have. So if you cap out at so many accesses, then you have to wait a couple of weeks before you can log back in and do some more searching. But if you plan appropriately, you've got plenty of time to get all the articles that you need. So just to speed things up for today, we'll stick with a standard review. The high quality one does take a few minutes. So please have a play if you've got time. But the standard one, we'll just pick one of the topics that they've suggested down here, again, just to speed things up. So we'll go with the first one. How does climate change impact biodiversity? But you can put any topic you want up there. It works really well if you give it a question. So rather than just writing a sentence or a topic, pose it as a question, and you'll be surprised by the results. So you can see at the top here, it gives you a bit of a summary from 5 papers that it's found. You can ask for more. You can ask for a more detailed summary, or you can ask for more papers as well. What I like about this one is this table down the bottom. So you can see that it's giving me the information about the paper itself and some insights. But if I'm getting ready to do a literature review, I want to know a bit more than just the name of the paper and the insights. I want to know about this stuff over here, don't I? So if, for example, I want to know about the results, I just click on that and it will summarize the main results and add it to the table. And I can do that for limitations or whatever it is that I want to know about. I can pop that in the table. So it's found 10 papers. It's told me there's 100 that are relevant to that topic, and you can just keep loading down the bottom. And then there's related questions that are posed down the bottom, which you can click on. For example, we'll go with this first one, and then you can find more papers that way. So SciSpace is a really nice way to find relevant academic research papers. And I really like that the output is this table because you can have a look at multiple papers in one space. Consensus is another tool that you can use to find journal articles. And again, it works best with a question. So let's ask a question. So in real time, you can see it's working to find some articles for me. You can see that consensus is a bit nichey because at the top it's got this consensus meter. And I really like this one personally because it gives you a bit of a breakdown of the research it's found. And you can see whether yes, possibly, mixed, or no is the response to your question, and then find the articles that it's drawn that information from. So again, consensus, like SciSpace, will give you the summary at the top. And if you keep scrolling down, you can find the individual papers. And to the side here, you see whether it was a possible mixed, no, or yes in answer to the question you posed. And you can read the paper. You can cite the paper. I mean, some of the papers are locked behind paywalls, but if it's freely available, you'll be able to find it. And it's the same with SciSpace. So you can see some of them are locked. So it'll say request PDF if it's behind a paywall. But if it's open access, you'll be able to access it just by clicking on the PDF there, and it will open up. So SciSpace and Consensus are great tools for finding papers. Another good tool is Lens. This one's really good if you're interested in particular people as well, because you can look up profiles of people who are working in that space, or if there's a patent or something like that you're interested in. This is really good for finding that information as well. If we're just looking for journal articles, we click on scholarly works and we again type in our topic. Sorry, I should have copied and pasted that. So you can see pretty quick, verifying I'm a real person and not a robot. Success. Okay, so the thing that's really helpful about Lens is that it's looking for all of these types of scholarly works, and you can narrow your search down. So if you just want journal articles, or if you want somebody's thesis, you can find that as well, or if you want a newspaper article or whatever. So it's very helpful. So you've got the summary here, bit of information about it, and then to the side over here you can see where the publications are coming from. So that might be really interesting if you're looking for a particular person at a particular place. You can also see who the prominent authors are and when the publications have been published. So this is another good tool for finding journal articles for you.